fewer people joining us, I noticed, but whatever. They can watch later.
I think people are still trying to catch on. Still catching on. Somebody gotta do it. Buster!
What's up, peeps?
What's up, motherfuckers? What's up, mother truckers?
Cinco de Mayo sure was fun sitting outside in the rain broadcasting.
Oh, you had to do that?
I managed to have kind of a good time, but
Where'd you sit outside of?
it was cold and rainy and on a Monday, and who's coming out for that?
Yeah, it didn't feel like the same kind of Cinco de Mayo anymore after ICE has been getting everybody. People were kind of, hesitant to celebrate,
Plenty of white people out. It's the
Or like
Mexicans who stay in their house.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
So where were you at?
Escondido's in Freehold, New Jersey. Russ came, so that was fun, and then Jen came.
Escondido.
At least one member of the mafia came. You fucks.
Oh yeah, that's what they wanted to do. Go out in the rain to come see you at Escondido's.
I know. Fuck though. A margarita and a White Claw was only $16. Their prices were very reasonable. The food was very good. I had a fucking quesadilla that was actually, you get chicken quesadillas these days, and there was like 2 pieces of chicken in there. It was stuffed.
I had beef tongue tacos last night.
Very Mexican of you.
You ever had a beef tongue taco?
I have not had a tongue.
Very good. Very good.
So
remember the first time I ever had beef
cow tongue taco?
Mm-hmm. I remember the very first time I ever had tongue was in some restaurant that served sandwiches.
What made
It's
you
called
even
lengua.
go, tongue?
Lengua.
That looks good.
Because you see it on the menu and people are trying it, and so obviously it's got to taste good for it to be such a thing. And I had it, and I was like, it's the most tender meat ever. It's very tender.
Yuck.
It's
I
delicious.
don't want to eat food that can taste me when I'm eating it.
It can't taste you. They took the taste buds off.
They grate it off like cheese.
They boiled it down.
Oh, gross. Would you eat
Lengua.
penis? What if penis
Not
was
like
tender?
lengua.
Would you eat penis
I
meat?
slurp that thing down.
Slurp that thing down.
No.
They took it.
They already do that. They do that at a cow dick. They
No,
turn
I know.
cow dick into food.
But do they leave that?
Lengua is good, Carol. Lengua is delicious.
Do they leave it the shape of the penis, or do they just slice it and put it like on a sandwich or something?
Oh, I don't know. You talking about the tongue? The tongue's
penis
sliced
meat.
up. The tongue you can't. The tongue's kind of like pulled apart a little bit, like shredded
Oh.
beef.
God. That sounds fucking horrible.
Lengua.
Do you eat them tongues, Rick, that you're raising on the ranch?
Should use all of it, the whole cow. No part of the cow goes to waste.
You know who eats them hooves?
Don't.
I know. I didn't say anything.
Nothing goes to waste. Alicia's brother used to eat the pig lips, the pig fucking ears.
I know. That was what the
All
scraps. The rich
in that
people
pink,
would throw
in
that
that pink
shit away,
juice.
and the poor people would rummage through the garbage, and that's the parts they'd have to eat.
Dude, you should try. Oh, he said Armando wants to make one for us. You should try it, Double says. You should, Rick, you should try it. It's good. Very good.
Me too, Doreen.
Lengua. No, do you know what? It doesn't look like tongue, though. Watch. If I gave it to you, you would have just thought it was like beef. You would have been like, oh, that's just beef.
Tranny vagina doesn't look like a penis,
Look.
but that's what you're still eating.
You look at that, you'd be like, oh, that's beef tacos.
Nah,
Not
but
knowing.
I couldn't bring myself to eat it. You'd have to trick me into it, and then I'd be
I would
pissed.
trick you, yeah. I would trick you into it. And sometimes they do it like this. And again, you still don't know that that's tongue. It just looks like chunks of beef.
You can't trick
But
somebody
actually, in actual,
without risking
they can.
life
Unless
and
it's
limb,
drugs.
risking your friendship.
In actuality, this is what you're eating.
Yeah, no. See, no, there's no way I would eat that. I don't care how you dress it up. It's just a costume. It's still what it is. In its DNA, it's
I
still
don't know.
tongue. Just like a, A guy that looks like a girl. He's got a really nice costume, but DNA is still a dude.
Do you think I'm weird in that?
Do I think you're weird?
Yeah, look at it. I mean, look, it just looks like beef.
I know, but I know what it is. I'm saying you can dress it up all you want. Lipstick on a pig.
You like mondongo? That's just intestines. See what's the difference?
Oh, come on.
You think Carol thinks the tongue's gross, but you like mondongo? Or no, Carol, maybe you didn't say it was gross. Maybe someone else said it was gross. That's just tripe. That's just intestines. It's like intestine soup.
Ugh. You have money. You can eat the good parts of the animal.
But that is the good parts.
Mickey says won't be the first time Kane's been tricked into something. What are you implying?
Yeah,
Mickey?
Brooklyn Johnny. Menudo is tripe too. It's just intestines. I don't like that. I'd rather not eat that. I'd rather eat the tongue than the intestines.
Your shit passes through the intestines and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want the intestines. I'll eat the tongue.
You're I don't know, you're cutting in and out and stuff. I don't know why. Rick says Corey's giving Fwak a food boner.
Because Fwak eats grub worms where he's from.
Cricket on a stick.
Yeah.
Stick cricket.
Stick it.
Would you
Chitterlings?
Would you eat bugs? Would you eat? I saw a guy on the internets took a bunch of bugs. You can buy them in a packet. He put them in a blender and fucking blended them all up with all this various stuff to make it look like meat. And then he's putting them into patties and he's frying bug burgers.
They do that. They do it in Africa.
Oh God!
Where they take it's mosquito season. They take all those mosquitoes. They take all those mosquitoes and they make mosquito patties.
I almost threw up watching that.
Yeah, I mean, shit. They don't have that. That's. I mean,
yeah, but
for what it's worth, they don't have.
So many.
They cook it out. They cook it out.
Yeah, but God, it's black. They're black burgers.
They don't have anything else to do. I mean, good for them for like at least not dying and like making it. That takes guts.
What'd they say? It took like how many millions of mosquitoes to make
it's
one
so
patty?
many. But they come. But if you look at it come in, the sky looks black because all the mosquitoes come in. So they just trap them and eat them.
Can you imagine living in a place like that?
No. Yeah, it's called
Terrifying.
Louisiana.
They have mosquitoes like that?
Oh, not that bad, but they have a ton of mosquitoes in Louisiana.
Wow.
Crazy.
No, I know, Mickey. I know that it was a gay joke. I know what you're doing. Super Kane.
All right,
Well,
let's do it.
yeah.
Welcome back to the show. Today on the show, we find out that Kane was with a bunch of Mexicanos yesterday.
Yeah. They were very
Actually, it was just a
comfortable.
bunch of white people because the Mexicanos stay inside now.
Well, they stayed inside yesterday. Because you never know where ice is.
That's
Cinco de
sad, man. I like
Mayo
partying
or-
with Mexicans. Dude, Mexicans are fun. Dude, they have a good time.
I had a good time at the restaurant. There's all white people in there. I mean,
Was it?
Escondido's in
Gringos.
Freehold, a very white location. Not a very...
Why'd they have you there? Why didn't they send you to some authentic place, you know?
No, it was authentic. It wasn't like a Tex-Mex or anything. It was an authentic Mexican restaurant.
Who's cooking in the back? Were they like legit Mexicans back there cooking?
Didn't go to the back. I don't know.
You gotta take a peek, dude. You gotta take a peek.
I didn't see one Mexican working there, though. Front of the
See,
house.
that's-
Anywhere.
Yeah, probably some white guy named Josh was cooking the tacos.
Yeah, but what is
Hi, I'm Josh, or as they call me in Mexico, Hosh.
it? How many Italian places? How many Italian places you go in the city? And like a pizza place, it's Mexicans working back there. It's not Italians working back there.
They know what the fuck they're doing, though. They know how to season shit.
No, I would rather if it's authentic Mexican food, it's Mexican people cooking it. If it's
Yeah.
But why is it that every time you go to a Chinese restaurant, it's always Chinese people? It's never Mexicans or it's never Italians.
And you know what's tricky
Isn't that
about going to a
weird?
Japanese restaurant? Sometimes it's Chinese people. You're like, that's not even the same kind of ease.
How do you know?
I was
You can't tell.
because we went to we went to an omakase place and got some of that. And I was like, what part of Japan are you from? He goes, no, I'm from China. And I was like, what about you? He said, I'm from China too. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you're not supposed to do sushi like this from China. This is a Japanese restaurant.
No, I think I trust the Orientals. You know, they probably know their way around each other's food. No, it's
You
true.
can't say that word.
Like, I would trust a Japanese person to make me a nice pad thai. There's some chicken in there. What? You can. We discussed this yesterday. You're allowed to say Oriental. We went over it. There's every which way to Sunday. There's no way that's insulting.
Okay. What do Oriental be doing it up, huh?
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Why can't you ask who's going to be there? Why does, when you get invited to something, saying, well, who's going to be there, set the person who invited you off?
Because that makes it sound like they're not good enough.
Right.
I don't think so. That's not what I mean. Because I got a save the date for a wedding, and from a buddy of mine for October, and I text him. I go, I got you saved the date. Thanks, man. Who else is going to be there? He's like, well, what does that matter? It's my wedding.
Yeah, what's
I'm
it
like,
matter?
well,
Come see me. It's my wedding. Who cares who's gonna be there?
well, I mean, I'm still going to go, but I'm curious as
That's
to
not what it sounds like, though.
what other friends of mine are going to be there. Like, and then he stopped responding to my texts. I'm like, well, what the
He was
fuck?
upset.
Why am I not allowed to ask? I ask all the time. And
We just gave you
everyone
the answer
gets-
2 different times. This is why people get mad, because it makes it sound like it's not good enough. You need other people to be there for you to want to go. It should be good enough with just me, is what he means. Like it should be fine. You shouldn't care who's coming. I'm here.
So they're butthurt then.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to sit. I don't want to have. Depends on how I'm going to be seated. I hate a wedding where I'm seated at a table. I don't know anybody. So if there's people coming that I know, at least I'll feel comfortable.
In your defense, Kane, I get why you're saying that, because you're not invited with a guest, right? So again, you just said it. You want to be able to hang out with somebody. So
It might
who
be
else
a
is
plus
going to be?
one. All I was save the date, so I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you're an asshole.
Julian
even
said
if I
in a
had a
normal
plus
situation.
one.
Julian said in a normal situation, maybe. She said, but for this, it's rude for a wedding.
Like if you're invited to a dinner, just somebody invites you over to their house for dinner. I ask all the time. Every time Denise and Seabright ask me over, I say, well, who else is coming? She doesn't seem to get mad. She just rattles off who's going to be there. And I have chosen.
I think
to
a
not
wedding,
come.
a wedding might be different. Not only that, that's a close friend of yours. She don't give a shit. She's like, no, come
Yeah.
if you want, come if you don't. I don't care.
I have chosen to not come based on who else is coming.
I was just going to ask, would you have chosen not to go based off of if your friend that sent you to save the date said somebody like Todd and you hate Todd?
Yeah, I've done it before. I don't think it's rude. You could ask me that. I don't care.
Why do you care so much?
Who's going to be there?
Yeah.
Because I hate some people.
Why do you hate some people? You're a Christian.
No, there's some people you don't. There's some people you don't want to be around.
You got hate in your heart. Let it out, dude. Let
I
it
don't
out, dude. Let the
necessarily.
hate
I
out.
don't hate anybody. It's
You just don't want to be around them because they're
too much
'cause they-
energy. Yeah, I hate myself. My hate energy.
Oh God, no!
It's
What's
turned
this?
around
This is
on
a
myself.
weird turn. This is a bad. This is
Well, you
abort,
asked.
abort.
No, if I hate anything, it's me. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't hate other
No,
people.
that's not. You don't hate you. You're encompassing what your dad felt for you, and you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't.
I put on a Shiny Toy Guns record this morning on Spotify because I just remembered that band. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot all about Shiny Toy Guns. Great album. And I put the first album on, and instantly I was brought back to like the horrible days, and I had to shut it off. Because I remember we were listening to that album the night that girl died in my friend's house. I'm like, oh God.
Oh God.
This album is now ruined for me. And I loved that album. We were partying
Oh,
and singing
no.
to it. Took me right back, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. We had that album on when, oh.
That's when you drink a
Lord.
special type of liquor, and like you throw up that liquor, you never want that liquor again. Like
Yeah.
that's or like food. Like I went to a place called Tijuana Flats in Florida. I love that place. But one time I got food poisoning from Tijuana Flats, and now every time I see it, I get that taste in my mouth to throw
See?
up. Oh, it's crazy. It sucks for you though, because that's a song though, and that's very enjoyable.
Yeah, whole album. Yeah, I put on the second album, and that was tolerable because it was at a different point. It was like 3 years later that album came out, but it still reminded me of the first album. Is Mafia, is there an album or a song that you just can't listen to because it brings, like Russ hates, BFR hates like the 70s music because it takes him back, like right in the back of his mom's car, and like just, I don't know, it feels too old, and I'm with him in that stuff. If it feels too old, I don't like it, but that took me back to a pseudo murder.
I like pseudo murder. Jesus,
Pseudo-murder.
don't please don't open that cold case. Leave it shut. I know. I think I like to embrace all the songs, even if it's like an old country song that I would ride in the back of my mom's minivan, and that my mom and dad were fighting. Like I still like that kind of music because at least we were all together, you know.
Yeah. Well, like, after a baseball game and your dad was calling you, you run like a queer and shit.
Oh,
Like,
there was no music playing during that point in time. That was just a quiet, silent ride home for 2 hours from Deltona, Florida to St. Pete, Florida. That was just him yelling and then being like,
the
"Yep,
disappointed in you silence.
yep," and
almost
then we
rather
didn't
have
talk for 2 days, and then then he would apologize, and yeah, it
Wait,
was
he wouldn't
bad,
talk
dude.
to you for 2 days if you
Yeah,
if
he
you
was-
played baseball poorly?
Sometimes.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
He
I'm
would
telling you, I'm
never
not
do
a,
that to
I'm
you.
not. I have some fucked up shit in me, dude. I'm not. I'm not a perfect. I'm not a perfect person.
Well, nobody ever said you were.
But yeah,
That's for sure.
he was not. He was not the biggest. I remember one time we got in this big argument. We had a long ride home, and I think it was me, my sister, and him, and he was like yelling at me because I didn't do well, or something. And then yeah, it was just very silent. And then if my mom was in the car, it'd be way worse because my mom would stick up for me, and then they would fight and yell, and then the whole car was silent. And if I would talk, my mom would just be like, "Just stop, because it's gonna make it worse. She's gonna start again." And it was just, oh god,
Oh, I hate that.
I don't
Yeah.
understand it. Yeah,
Shush it. My mom shushed. Yeah, mom shush kids because they're gonna make it worse.
stop,
They
just
keep
stop,
it-
just stop,
Yeah.
just shut up.
Are you telling me or?
No, not
okay.
you. I'm
Because
talking about
maybe
what
I
mom
was
would do.
bringing up, so maybe you're gonna start to cry. I don't know.
No. It is what it is. It's built me to who I am today, and made me a better father.
So your kid fucks up playing sports. What do you do? How do you
No,
react?
I get mad when my kid doesn't listen. I don't care if he plays good. I don't care if he strikes out. I don't give a shit about that. I care if he doesn't pay attention, and that's what drives me nuts. I'm like, Lexington, I sit him down. I'm like, I don't care if you're good at this. You want to play this. You are good at it. But I don't care if you are. I care if you listen and you know what's going on. That's all I care about. And
Wow.
I'm gonna get mad if you don't listen.
That's
And I think
pretty
that's
good.
completely appropriate and okay.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
that's really good. I wish I had that. Jay, what do you do? If your kid does something wrong.
I'm the same way. I mean, he's a
Spills his
5-year.
milk.
He's a 5-year-old. He's supposed to fuck up. He's supposed to figure out what the boundaries are. But I'm the same way. If he doesn't listen, I don't care. Like he's playing t-ball, he loves it. But if he doesn't listen to his coaches, I get mad at him. Same thing. It's important. They gotta listen.
I corrected him the other day because we were at a restaurant. It was brunch, and he's ready to go. He's like ready to leave, but me and Alicia were just still talking about like dessert and other shit. And he turns around and looks at one of the bar backs, not even a fucking waiter, and goes, "Excuse me." And he was gonna ask for I said, I looked at him right away. I was like, "No." I said, "That's not your job." And he goes, "Why?" And I was like, "Because you're a kid.
Yeah.
Your job isn't to ask for the bill." I was like, "You're not," and that's not even our waiter.
Well, knowing you, he's probably got a pocket full of cash.
I was like, "You're not.
So
We're not
maybe-
even. I wasn't even ready yet. You're not.
What
Excuse
is
me.
it?
Ask for the bill."
Was he like 7? This one's on me,
8.
guys. I
He's
got
8,
this.
but he's like, yeah, it's like, yo.
Oh,
you're
is he
not doing
8
that.
already?
Yeah, he's 8. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can I have the bill? No, little motherfucker. You're not. We're not even fucking ready for that part yet.
I was wondering about bringing this up, but this is the perfect time to do it. There's a new parenting called "Fuck Around and Find Out." Because you got the helicopter parents that suffocate their
Yeah.
kids and don't let
Yeah,
them
yeah.
do shit.
Yeah.
These are parents who basically just raise their kids like Gen X were raised, like me, latchkey
Yeah.
kids, and we were out until the street lights came on and that kind of thing. So now there's this new style, quote unquote, because they have to label everything. It's fuck around and find out parents that just let their kids go run out and play, and they're not watching over their every fucking move, and I think that's
Yeah.
really refreshing, man.
Yeah, but all right. There's parents that are like this in New York. We actually know a couple, and they don't correct their kids at all, even if their kid hits somebody. Like they got kids, and their kids run rampant at the park, and sometimes they'll hit and scratch, and then the other kids will be like, "Hey, he's hitting and scratching," and the other mom's like, "Oh, it's okay, he'll figure it out." And it's like,
Well, I
no,
guess
but
there's a
your
middle
kid
ground.
is like, yes, there's a middle ground. There is a sense of like, yeah, let your kid learn for itself. But at
Yeah.
the same time, you also kids have to be taught. You know what I mean? You have to like, there's lessons out there where you're like, all right, you can't do that. There's this one kid, he's just pissing on the side of the playground, and his mom's just like, he's just figure it out. And she's like, no, but his dick's out, and there's strangers walking by, and he's pissing where kids are playing.
How's he going to figure that out without being told?
That's what I'm saying. She's like,
Well,
yeah,
that's
but
different.
they were like, my parents. I think their excuse was their parents like did so much of like helicopter parenting that they want to do the complete opposite. But it's like, no, go middle ground, do the
Right.
middle.
But I
I
thought
mean, like,
fucker-
because you never. I'm sorry, Jay. You never see kids anymore wearing casts. When I was in school,
Yeah,
kids had casts.
you're right.
Their arms, I mean, the kids were in casts. They broke shit because they played and they tried the monkey bars and there wasn't padding underneath. It was just the dirt and
Yeah.
they rode their bikes over janky ramps that they built with scrap wood. I mean, I wish it was back to that.
I will say this: Lex was climbing a tree the other day, and I looked at him. I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I climb the tree?" And I was like, "Make good decisions." I was like, "Make sure it's the tree you can climb." I was like, "Look at every step, and then make sure you can get down from it because sometimes I can't help you get down." And he looked at one tree and he's like, "Nah, all right, fuck that." And then he went to a different tree and made it.
Okay,
I was
well,
like, "All right, better decision." I was like, "That's a good choice because that one tree would have been hard. It'd been too tall. You couldn't get up to it."
That's
you
really
went to
good
the tree
middle
you
ground
climbed.
right there.
Yeah.
But
And
fuck around and find out. To me, that has a different meaning. Like fuck around, get in trouble, and find out what it's like to get your ass beat when you come home. That's what fuck around and find out to me. Is that what you guys are referring to, or what you're referring to, Kane?
I guess
Well-
so. Yeah, you want to go let the kids go out and
And
play.
if you fuck up when you get home, I'm beating that ass with a belt because that's what happened
Well,
to me.
a TikTok mom started this in 2022, and then Jason Kelsey's wife talked about it on her podcast, so that's why it's got new legs now. And like the original example of this was there was a kid who didn't want to wear his coat in the rain, so the mom said fine.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
find
and then
out,
later on
yeah.
he was soaking wet and he was miserable.
We
and
did
the
that.
mom was
We've
like,
done, we've done that.
"You've done
We've-
that? Okay."
We've done similar to that. Something happened the other day when and I was telling Lexington, you got to do this. Oh, he wanted to wear Crocs to school. And I said, Lex, if you wear your Crocs, you're not going to be able to play kickball. And he said, yeah, I will. And Alicia looks at me and goes, let him learn for himself. And I was like, okay. So then after school, guess what? Dad, can you bring me my shoes? I shouldn't have worn my Crocs. You were right.
Those
So,
wa-
he
oh,
fucked around and found out.
that makes a man feel good too. Like, see,
Yeah.
and he learned. You were right, and he learned. Mm-hmm. Fuck.
So yeah, that's good. It's good in a sense, but like you got these parents in New York that live near the school, but they let their like 6 and 7-year-olds walk to school by themselves in New York City. And I guess maybe it is safer in New York City because of all the people around and because there's cameras everywhere. So I guess if someone was gonna like try to take your kid, you could yell, and then there's someone right there, you know.
Yeah,
But at the
people
same
don't
time,
have, you know what? You would have video of your kid being abducted, but you wouldn't have your kid.
It's easier to abduct a kid in a rural place, though. I mean, there's
People will
nothing
take
around. There's no one to
video.
hear you
Yeah.
scream. There's no one to hear you yell. And when everyone
True.
was getting abducted, when I was watching on fucking Ricky Lake or whatever show it was usually those kind of places. It was never in the city. It was like always in the suburb.
How old your kid got to be before you let him go to school by himself?
I'd say 10 or 11.
10 or 11?
He's almost there.
All right. Does he ask?
He has, but he did when he was 7. But he hasn't really asked this year. He kind of knows now not to ask anymore. I was like, yeah, well, you'll get to that point. But right now, it's fine. We don't have a job. We can walk with you.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we don't want to give that up yet. We like walking with him. We like having that morning conversation, you know.
Sal has a point. Even Tracy brings this up. It's like, yo, if you do that, they're going to call protective services. Now children even say that. Like, don't hit me. I'll call, CPS.
I've said that. I used to say that too when my mom was
Fuck
dating me.
that, bro.
Really?
And you know what my mom said? She said, call him. And I said, what? She goes, yeah, call him so you could be an orphan somewhere. Go ahead, call him.
Yeah.
She goes, I remember the one time she handed me the phone. She goes, here, I'll give you the number. And I was like, no, I don't want to call
Call
him.
the bluff. That's the ultimate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
She always used to say this thing too that kind of like stuck with me that I don't ever want to say it to Lex because it really hurt my feelings. She goes, I fucking don't like you right now. She goes, I love you because I have to love you, but I don't like you. And I still remember that to this day. I'm like, that's kind of, I don't know.
My parents never said that, but I felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt
I don't have to like you, but I do. I love you. I was like, that kind of still makes me feel bad. I'm
Yeah,
a kid.
no shit.
I don't really know. Like and love kind of mean the same thing to me as a child. Like if I like
Yeah.
a girl at school, I love her. You know.
You understand it now, but. And Jay, you take your kid to school every day. That's going to end someday.
Yeah, I do. I mean, but
Everything-
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to talk to him in the morning. Dad, how many trees are in the sky? That, it's just like those questions will.
Well, I hope you say 0.
Well,
How
no,
many
he asks
trees are-
stupid questions. You know what he
Lexington
says?
used to ask, "What if the world was made of trampoline?"
You
Dad?
know what's crazy? You know what's
Was
crazy?
that a real question?
Kane, what's gonna make you're gonna like this. Recently, he's been asking me, Dad, what does Jesus look like? Dad, what does heaven look like?
Oh, there you go.
What do you do when you go to
Where
heaven?
does he
Dad?
get
Dad?
that? Because do you talk about that in the house?
No, every kid that age, because kids start talking about what they see on Sundays at school.
Yeah,
they
okay.
start learning stories, and they
Yeah.
start. Lexington was at 5 was doing the same thing. But the thing is, I saw Alicia used to send me these kind of things all the time, which was kind of sad. But she's like, "There's going to be a last walk to school. There's going to be
Oh,
a
God,
last
I hate those.
conversation
Don't tell
about
them
this.
that.
There's gonna no, you don't say. You
Oh, I
don't
thought
tell
you were
your
saying that.
kid
Oh, I thought you
that.
said to your kid.
But as an adult, you've got to. That's what kind of makes you appreciate every little thing you
Yeah.
got, because there's
Yeah.
going to be a last time he goes to karate. There's going to be a last time he plays. You know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Even as an adult, you're like, there was a last time I played baseball. That's kind of fucking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if I saw a meme once, and it gets you thinking, like, there was the last time you ever, because like we used to go to the park and play baseball all the time, and there was that last time, and had I known that was going to be the last
Yeah.
time,
It made it better. You made it. Yeah,
right? Remember it a little bit.
crazy.
Yeah, they
last
say
time
that
I
when
had sex, if I knew that was going to be the last time, I
It
would've
doesn't have to
appreciated it a
be.
little bit more. Who's fucking this?
Come on. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty out
the
there.
last
Ratty old, saggy ass.
Kane, the last time you had sex, what was the #1 song on the Hot 100?
You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone.
Shout.
Shout, let it all out, which is what I did.
No, I'm talking about the other shout. Put your hands up and shout. Come on now. Hey, hey.
That's a little older.
You know what's crazy? This is
What a
kind of
dick.
Lexington's smarter than me. He knows and remembers dates. Like he could tell you right now when Roberto Clemente was born and died, and he'll
What?
tell you that. He told me last night. He goes, "Yo, Dad, you know Muhammad Ali and Stephen Hawking was born in the same year and died in the same year." Like he's coming up. He's all this shit. He's got books. All his books now are like, what was the Molasses Flood, or who was Muhammad Ali, or who was. They're all history books about people. He's reading one right now. We're almost finished. It's about Milton Hershey. And about how
him.
he created the Hershey candy bar and
Yeah.
made a whole city, Hershey,
Yeah.
Hershey,
Wow.
Pennsylvania. So it's like weird because like I was not like that. So it's kind of cool to see how kids are different from their parents.
Yeah, no shit. I wasn't
They
like that
also
either.
teach them different. Like I don't remember. Giovanni's coming home talking about the science of tornadoes, like weather.
That's a little young, but all right.
But that's what they're talking about in school, and that's
I'd
all he
rather
wants
have
to.
them teach him that than open up a book and show him how to give a blowjob.
Yeah, thank God. I know.
Right?
That's in 5th grade.
Teach me about tornadoes. Hey, BuzzFeed's got this list. There's some funny stories here. Do you have any? And maybe you can give a minute to think about it, because I can read some of these if you don't have anything at the top of your mind. But you have any like one night stand stories? I have one that I thought of that I can share that I haven't shared. It's
Any-
hard sometimes with these topics because we've shared everything before.
But like a specific, like what is it? What do you mean? Like what kind of?
People are confessing their wildest one night stand
Oh
stories.
yeah, I have a few.
Okay. And
Wildest.
Like
Okay.
this first one here. During the middle of COVID, I went on a random Tinder hookup. 2 steps into the house, I realized it was a hoarder's house. She
Okay.
She took me up to her bed, which was literally a mattress and a dusty blanket. I kept my mask on the entire time we hooked up.
There was this one time she had earplugs, and I think the ear got infected because it stunk, and I couldn't
What?
continue. I was like, I dropped her off. She's like, "You want to come in?" I was like, "Nah, I'm not coming into that. I don't. If your ear smells like that, I only know what your vagina smells like, dude. That's crazy."
I have. Oh God. Oh God.
I got one I thought of when I was between jobs. I would always go back and live with my mom. And this was before the internet. Well, the internet was a thing, but of course at my house we didn't have it.
Yeah.
So you had to go. We had something in Minneapolis called City Pages, which was basically like the Village Voice. And so you'd look in the back for the ads and like the personals, like a Craigslist with a newspaper. And I started talking to this girl, and I called her, and she was like hot, whatever, and she lived a few miles away. So I drove over to her
Wait, you
house.
found her? You found her on an ad?
Yeah. That's
What
how
was
you
her
had to-
ad?
That's how you had to do it. I don't know. It was just in a personals.
She was looking for someone. She was looking for
Yeah.
love. It said. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So she was a hooker.
No.
If she was in the back of a magazine. She's
You
a
found her
hooker.
in the
No.
hooker pages, dude.
No, like Craigslist. City Pages had like personals.
Yeah, but she was out there. So she couldn't find
M4S.
love so bad that she took out an ad to find love. She's paying for love. She was the first premium Tinder user.
No, but I didn't have to pay for it. It was like,
Back pages.
you've used the Craigslist personals, haven't you?
No.
No.
Yeah, me either. But so I go over to her house, and she had described herself as like this hottie, you know, cutie patootie, whatever. And she comes to the door, and she said she lived alone. She comes to the door, and she was this big fucking fat, just, I was like,
You want to come in?
in my, yeah. In my head, I'm like, just fucking leave. But you're already here, and you know, you're already excited. You're going to get your dick sucked, whatever. So I go in.
Eating.
I go in, and we go on the couch. I had no problem with that because, you know, she said she lived by herself. All of a sudden, the kitchen light turns on. It was her dad, and he goes, "Oh, sorry," and goes
You
back
feel like
to
you're gonna get
fucking bed.
murdered.
Oh,
And I was like, "What the fuck is happening here?" And she
Her
was
dad was home.
because she lived with her parents. It turned out. And she's like, "Oh, that's just my." She was sucking my dick. She's like, "Oh, that's just my dad." I'm like, "I thought you lived alone, whatever." She's
Wait,
like, no.
So her dad walked in on her doing it.
The kitchen was over to the right, and I saw you couldn't see in the kitchen, but there
Yeah.
was like it
The
wasn't
light came on,
open
yeah.
floor plans back
Yeah.
then. There was walls. I saw the kitchen light go on, and I guess he heard something, and he goes, "Oh, sorry," and then you saw the light go back off.
Oh my God! How often is this girl
That's
sucking
what I'm
off
gonna
dude?
say.
You were probably the second guy that night,
he's
dude.
used to that. He was like, "Oh shit, again, she must be
Oh,
making
that's
money."
my baby girl.
So, needless to say, I zipped up and I zipped out of there.
Oh
But
my god.
I never used the paper. I never did that again. I learned my
Yeah,
lesson.
Smart. You should have learned your lesson.
I think
Oh
I
my
have
God,
one
let's-
that taught-
Let's fuck around and find out, dude.
I
I'm
think I have
sure,
one.
yeah, exactly. I didn't want the slicker in the rain, and I got wet, and always wearing my slicker from now on.
Now she has an OnlyFans, John Piece. I think I might have one that tops.
Probably.
oh, God. You want a nasty one or like a semi-nasty one?
Ew, dude.
All right,
Or
so
what
here's
do you want?
Give us the
I go meet this girl, and we go to, we're going to have sex, and she smelled so bad. This is the first time I ever met her, and I must have like,
Just
you know how
body
you
odor, or were you smelling
no
your
her
crotch
vagina. Wait a minute. So
Wait,
I
no,
mu-
wait, how did far away this instantly upon meeting you smelled her crotch?
we started having sex. We like,
Okay.
yeah. So I must, you know how you internalized it when you smell it, you're like, oh God, that's fucking sick. But I must have said it out loud. And then she came out, she's like, oh, so sorry, I had a miscarriage this morning. It must be residual from that. So literally I had dead baby on my penis.
Wow, she was like, "I'm gonna try again."
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
So I finished and I
God.
left, but it fucking stunk so bad because it was literally
Corpse.
miscarriage fluid. Yeah, corpse. Yeah. Yes.
You had a
fucking ped- you
form
fucking
of a
ped-
corpse.
You pedophile.
Yeah, no shit.
How am I a pedophile, bro? She was fucking
Out
in
here
her
fucking
30s.
kids, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. Fucking cadaver fucking pedophile.
Oh
what
God!
you are.
crazy.
I remember.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, Rick. That's what takes cake, and he finished.
Whoo.
I'm not. You don't
I mean,
finish
what
in
do
that
you do?
situation.
You're in the middle
You-
of it. You're in the middle.
What do you
of
mean?
it.
What do you do? You stop and you say, "Oh God, I'm going home."
Yeah. Like
You
I did.
call it quits, you sicko.
I have another one. Here we go. So I meet this girl. She's so hot. She's this Jewish girl, and hear me out. The reason I'm telling you this, so I walk in her house.
Did you break her lahyman?
So we're about to we're hanging out, we're having a great time, and she
That's
starts to
good.
yeah, it is good. She starts to give me head, and then she was like, hold on a second. She reaches over on the thing next to the couch, and she pulls out a chain, and she's like, can you do me a favor? Can you put this on for me? It was the Star of David. She's like, I'm really not allowed to hook up with non-Jewish guys, so this will make me feel better if you put this chain.
What?
Yeah, I swear to crap. I wish I was lying about this shit. I
Did you
stopped
do
that.
it?
No, I stopped her. I refused.
No. Oh. You.
Oh, that's what's.
No,
you
that I
won't
refused.
You won't wear
That I
the Star
refused.
of David, but you'll fuck a dead
No,
baby.
I'm fucking cat. We grew up Catholic.
So what?
No, I would not put the Star of David on.
Wow.
So you think Jesus looks upon one thing and he's like, "That's cool," but at the other one he's like, "Nah."
I couldn't knowingly put on the Star of David. I didn't know this woman had a miscarriage. So I'm
You're
like
out
halfway
there. You're
through
out there having hookups, which you're not supposed to do. But you're worried. Oh, I'm
Yes!
a Christian. I can't wear the Star of David. Like, what, you worried about your
yeah.
Christianity in the midst of all that?
Yeah.
You should
I
have
know.
thought of that beforehand.
Mary Magdalene's gonna be real mad. And Mother Teresa's gonna be real upset.
Wow. I mean, would I have worn it? No.
Right.
But
Thank you.
It wouldn't. But I wouldn't have.
I would
my
have spoke
reasoning-
Hebrew for an hour, dude. I'd have been
My
like,
reasoning would have been different.
Mani
I don't
Shma,
know.
Mani Shma, Lahaim.
I mean, I got no problem with it. I probably would have thrown it on.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares? Would I wear a yarmulke? Sure, if I had to.
At least
for
it's
some
still a
reason.
religion that believes in God. You know, I mean, at least it's still
Right.
like, it's not.
I mean, like if I was going to a friend at Jewish church and he asked me to put on a thing, I mean,
That I've done, which I
would
guess
have
is
to.
the
I
same
would have
thing.
to Google that to see if a
She
Christian's
didn't ask
allowed
you to
do
read the
that.
Torah, dude. She was like, hold
Right.
this Torah while you have. No.
It was just
now,
weird.
now,
She was
now,
like-
now she was like, yo, can you hold this Quran? I'd be like, nah,
Yeah, nah.
nah.
Yeah.
Can you before I fuck you, can you denounce Jesus and praise Allah?
Nah.
Would you do that if she was hot?
No.
No.
That's different.
That's way different. Oh my God! Any more? Or you
Oh,
want to
God,
save
I-
some
I-
for later? I can't believe that I can't believe you hadn't wrung the sponge dry already. Like there
Oh,
were still
no.
some stories that you.
Oh
hadn't
no, I
shared.
have so many more. I could dig deep and tell you. Just you want to hear?
God, you're gross, dude. You're a cesspool.
But how?
No
oh my
wonder why
God.
you got mouth herpes, dude.
You really are a miracle. Like some of the things that you've done.
I
Star
know.
David necklace. And what was the one before that? I forgot already
You
because.
fucked the dead kid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
she had a
like,
miscarriage
that
on my
was a-
penis.
I could have sat here for a million years trying to guess the basis or the plot of
My-
Jay's
my-
stories. I wouldn't have come up with either one
I
of those.
wish I was lying about that because I must have been so loud. I'm like, oh God, this smells so bad. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I had a miscarriage this morning.
My
I'm
friend
like,
Jo-
what do you do in that situation?
My friend John Brown lived with his dad, and it's just him because his mom passed away when he was younger. And we'd go over there, and his dad went out of town quite often, just like to go to the beach. He went to a condo on a beach to like hook up with his girlfriend. But like we'd go back to his house, and I'd go to his dad's bed, and I would have sex in his dad's bed. And I remember one day I go over his house, he goes, "Corey, stop fucking girls in my bed."
How did he know?
I don't know.
son
I
probably
kept
told on you.
doing it though, dude. I didn't stop.
God.
I just made the bed afterwards.
And you would think after a miscarriage, you might be torn up emotionally a little bit. Like, how
That's
are
what I
you? How
thought.
are you instantly segueing to? Well, let's get back on that
Obviously,
horse.
you know how it happened in the first place. She probably didn't know the first baby daddy, so who cares?
Oh my God! What did she look like?
She was pretty, like an Italian girl, like a little on the thicker side, because
Probably Sicilian. Them are dirty.
But
On
it-
the
when
thicker
I-
side, because she was pregnant, Jay.
Probably, yeah. No, I mean she was probably what 8-9 weeks in. That's not really heavily pregnant.
That'd be a question I ask from now on. You didn't just have a miscarriage this morning, did you?
Jesus Christ.
I just need to make sure I had kind
And
of
let
an
me
incident.
just tell you something. The odor was just above it, the worst I've ever smelled in my life. Yeah.
I think we've all smelled that.
Damn, Jay. Jay, your dick's been in some fucked up situations.
No
shit. Your dick wants out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
your dick is decrepit.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You have put that poor thing through hell.
Through hell. Jesus.
God.
Never in a man's ass,
Hams.
though.
What did it ever do to you?
I just wanted to see how much I could abuse it before it falls off.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Mickey says, now, Kane and Corey, would you rather fuck a tranny or a fork that has had a miscarriage? What? Fuck a tranny?
Miscarriage, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Any
yeah,
day.
okay, sure.
I mean, not every day. I'm not gonna be proud about it. I'm not gonna be happy. But if I have to choose, you got a gun to my head.
Oh, I guess
It's not gonna be the tranny, that's for sure.
I pissed off some Sicilians in the mafia. Aunt Stucci, Kane, chill. Kirby Barbie, hey, I'm Sicilian.
I'm actually Sicilian as well, but I'm not.
Are you?
upset. Well,
My
I'm
mom-
17%.
My mom told me they were the blacks of Italy.
Well, that's
They are.
because
That's how Italians treated them. Like they were just gross and like,
Because they
you
were
know.
conquered by the Moors, which was an African tribe back in
Yeah.
the day. So they're mixed. They're mixed race.
Oh,
That's why they call them black Italians. Because back in the day, I don't know how long ago, the Moors was a tribe that came into Sicily and conquered it and slept with all the women. So that's why Sicilians are darker.
He knows the history of the Sicilians, but also fucks dead babies.
yeah.
You
He's a
are-
smart guy, ladies and gentlemen. Smart guy.
Baby Leg says, Kane, we're not all dirty. I know. I was just repeating what my mom said. Maybe she was a closet racist. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
repeating what my mom said.
That's how
Well, you
I
also
learned
see
that.
True Romance. They say it in True Romance.
Oh, they
Who
do?
says it?
Oh.
Christopher Walken says it. He's like,
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably, I learned it from a lot of places then, I guess. I didn't realize that. You know, Hollywood's pushing now, speaking of just disgusting sexual things. Hollywood's pushing incest.
What?
They had this incestuous scene in White Lotus, and now
Yeah.
in this new Blake
That was
Lively.
pretty gross, though. It made it even seem gross. It felt gross, that scene.
Did it? I see. I won't watch it now because I knew that. And now there's a scene in Blake Lively's new movie, which is on Prime. It's called Another Simple Favor. She plays, she's one of a triplet, right? And she has fucking sex with herself. Like there's this big incestuous scene, and people are calling it horrible. There's one scene, Charity drugs Emily, that begins to place her fingers on her sister's vagina before telling her she would make her feel good. Why is Hollywood pushing incest now? I guarantee
I don't know why they're pushing it, but it's not just now. Cruel Intentions. You remember when the brother and sister was it Cruel Intentions? No. What was the big famous movie where the brother and sister would hook up?
Oh,
Or like the brother wanted
with
to the
Ryan-
entire
with
time.
Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah, he wanted to the
I
entire
think
time.
that was
Cruel Intentions, right?
Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been that, and not only that, you've got whole subsections of porn that's brother sister and like oh no brother no. Alicia knows someone who they adopted a kid, and then the sister started fucking the kid, and I know they're not blood related, but still, it's still kind of fucking weird that you're
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, yeah, it would have been weird if Greg fucked Marcia.
yeah.
You know, they're not blood, but still. Yeah, but this
they're
is like,
step-siblings,
but,
okay.
but this is now, that's brother sister, which is still disgusting. But like the White Lotus was brother brother, and this
Yeah.
is sister sister.
Sister.
And somebody said, just watch this horrible movie. Has an incest scene with her sister, also played by Blake Lively. So she, she's on top of herself, and kids, I don't know how they did that, but AI's incredible now. So now 2 incest scenes between this and White Lotus in the past few months. Hollywood's pushing this now. A bunch of lowlives. Shame on Lively. Yeah, that's another thing. If you're an actor, it's just art. If I see that, if I'm in this role and I see that that's one of the scenes I got to do, I'm not doing that. Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. It's and you got the Island Boys kissing each other.
Yeah.
You got some people. What do you have? You have the mom and the daughter that married the same guy and they have sex with the same guy and sometimes they do it together. We've heard about that before. That was on, I don't know, was it on TLC or something? Like it's been around, but yeah, it shouldn't be pushed. That's strange.
It's the next depraved thing that Hollywood is going to try to push. Because it's like they say with drugs. You start with marijuana, but that doesn't do anything after a while. You got to do more heavier drugs. Same with this.
Yeah, you're right. NJ Kirby Barbie, in Game of Thrones, the twins, the brother and the sister, they were hooking up the entire time. Actually, I think she had his son, right? Or it was his kid, the brother's kid.
You're right. That brother-sister stuff has been around, but this is the first time it's been like same-sex
Well, I mean,
incest.
gay things now. Yeah, it's gay. Everything's gay now. It's funny because that show, This Is Us, or no, sorry, the End of Us. What's the zombie one? I think it's End of Us or whatever.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
I just watched the new episode, and they're in Seattle, and obviously it's after the apocalypse and the zombies and everything. And there's rainbows everywhere, and they don't know what rainbows mean. So the 2 lesbians are like, "Sure are a lot of rainbows around here." And the one girl is like, "Yeah, maybe they're just happy people," like because they don't know what it means. But at the same time, you're kind of like, "Nah." Last of Us, yeah.
God.
Here's a scenario, and again, this is not about Hollywood. You know how you hear those stories where the girl falls in love with the guy, and then they find out it's the long lost brother from that was put up for adoption 20 years ago.
No,
Let's
never
say
heard
you fall in love with a woman, Kane. You're just head over heels with her, and then it comes out because your dad was a fucking whore. He comes out that she's actually your sister. What do? You
I
just
think your mind shuts off. I think your mind goes, "Oh God,
yeah.
all right,
I
bro."
agree with that.
I
Yeah.
would throw up continuously for days.
Right.
And I don't know. I certainly wouldn't continue the relationship.
Well, there's all these stories are like, well, I
I
love
would want
him.
to
It
kill
doesn't
myself.
matter.
I would want
Yeah,
to die.
me
I would
too.
pray. I would pray for forgiveness constantly. I don't know. What do you do? I'd be horrified.
Alicia's uncle married his stepsister, but the thing is, they had been stepbrother and stepsister since they were like 9 or 10, so they had been like close for a long time, or maybe a little bit later than that, maybe later, but still, it doesn't matter.
There's no blood there, though, right?
They're not technically but their kids know each other as
Yeah, I know.
cousins, and like
Yeah,
they're
see?
close with each other.
It's like fucking. What porn did I see the other day?
It's like there's so many other people out there. Go just pick someone else.
An uncle fucked a niece. And it was like, I shut it off as soon as I realized what it was. But like, I mean, people think that's okay. Cousin fuckers.
Yeah.
If it's the third cousin, though, that's why, But it's like the family, it's a family dynamic. And
apparently in Italy, there was a lot of incest at one point. Apparently in Italy, they were like, there's a lot of cousin fucking out there.
That makes sense. Aunt Stucci says, did that happen in Minnesota? A small town majority of people are related because of a doctor? Yeah. But you can't really blame anybody but the doctor in that case. He was just like Captain Sperm Donator, and like he made it his mission to like inseminate as many women as he could. He's got like hundreds of kids. What movie was that?
At that point, if it's a sperm donor, and you find out that it's not, at that point, if you fall in love with someone and you find out down the road that you're one of 500 kids through a sperm donor that was fucked up. I don't know. I don't think of you as my sister anymore.
That's still your brother or sister, though.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's for some reason.
Relationship.
I know, but for some reason to me that's different. That's so many things apart.
Are you staying with her though? Now she's your sister.
But only half, right? Because it's not a whole.
Yeah, it's not the same mother.
I
or
mean,
father,
your kids are
right?
going to be fucking tarded and stuff.
You don't know that. You don't know that for sure.
Three-eyed. Look at those fucking the ones who make noises.
Usually that's that same. You know what I mean? Usually that's brother sister from the same mother and father.
Like multiplicity.
If it came like okay, say it came out that Alicia and I that we were sperm donors, and I found out now after Lexington and everything that we were brother and sister. I'm still with her. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, yeah. That's not the same. It's just, I don't know.
Every time you look at her, all you're gonna think is that's my sister.
People say that anyways. They're always like, "You guys look alike. You got the brother and sister," and it's like, all right, well, maybe I like myself then.
I never thought of. Do you?
I don't know. That's what people have said. A lot. We've got that
Got
common.
the same shaped face. I feel like it's like
I
don't know.
But same size titties right now, to be honest.
At least you can joke about it. Wait, she got big ones though. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I got big ones too right now.
You lactating, are you? Oh, dude. So Jay, I don't know if you're taking that robot job or not, but this might be that video that everyone looks back on and goes, well, that's when it started. This robot attacks these people who were working on it.
Oh, I think I saw this. Wait, is this the one I saw?
Robot goes postal in China.
There's a couple robots that have gone set in it and like care about each other and shit now, and like they all quit a job at one point because they was
What?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
They walked out.
I don't know if they didn't not walk out. They shut down. They shut themselves down.
A Unitree Robotics H1 humanoid robot developed and produced somewhere in China. I can't produce.
But I think we have to give Jay the chance to explain this to us because he's got to pretend like he's on a sale right now. He's going to a restaurant to sell a robot, and the person he wants to sell the robot to is like, no, I don't want to buy a robot. Didn't you just see that the robots are attacking people? So now Jay's got to come up with an excuse why it attacked and he's got to fight for the robot to make the sale.
Look at this motherfucker. He's hanging on a hook, by the way. He's got
They're working.
being worked on like a car on a hoist.
Yeah, they're working on him.
He's fucking swinging wildly, aiming right for these people.
Shit.
He's trying to get off the hook. He's running with his legs, trying to get off this fucking hook. These people are running away. Look at that. He knows what he's doing. That fucking thing knew what it was doing.
What if they're transferring consciousnesses into fucking robot? It looked like
bet
that thing
they
just.
are. I don't
It looked
trust
like
those
it.
fuckers.
It looked like it just woke up from like something and started
did.
freaking out. Like what the fuck? Get up! You were.
That's fucking crazy. What are we doing? Shut them all down. We don't need them.
Huh, what are we gonna do? What's next? A robot that's gonna get us? Ah!
What
What are we gonna
What's
do?
his line? What's his? What
Jay, you're muted, you idiot.
Oh, sorry. Those type of robots are not the ones that's fucking with the devil. The robots that I'm selling are ones that deliver the food fucking to your table,
Who's to say it can't have a mishap?
Right.
No, they don't because they could be shut down. I can
Because
control it.
because they're fat and cuddly and they
they
just
don't.
run around on wheels and stuff.
They shut this. They shut this one down. They shut it down. I mean,
I honestly think this is fake.
This
Oh,
isn't
what?
fucking. Oh, now you're an expert.
No,
This
no, no.
isn't fake.
Just,
Look at
well,
them.
Corey's the expert when it comes to like all the social media shit, and he's always calling you out. on
What's
falling
fake
for
about
shit.
this? You're
I
not
just-
a professional. I have 12, 13 years in social media.
There's-
You have 2 weeks in
Okay,
robots.
okay. but
There's
do you know
no
that-
way this is fake? They're on the computer, trying to fucking, and now it's going crazy.
That's not fake. That's real. I think it's something happened. It's a coding.
Yeah.
It's something.
So here's. Do you remember the robot that ran the marathon?
Look at that fucking thing. And now he has to sneak back to the computer.
They had to shut it off. They had to unplug that bitch.
The robot, those humanoid robots are not. They'll never. They're not what you think. They have to be remote controlled. So somebody was doing that.
No, please. That's not true at all.
The one that
There
ran
are
the
robots
marathon
on
in China.
patrol in China. Robots that walk with cops. There's no
They're
cord on them.
controlled.
These aren't Radio Shack remote control cars with the cord still on them.
They're controlled. I'm telling you,
these are
I
living,
learned all.
breathing robots.
I was in Texas for 2 weeks learning about every single one of them. They're all controlled by
Okay.
by a remote control.
No, you need more schooling.
All right.
They're programs, Jay.
Hold on. Let's figure this out. What are they called? Humanoid robots?
This
Yes.
was a Unitree Robotics H1 humanoid robot. Hangzhou, China, is where it's from.
There are there are plenty of self-controlled humanoid robots, and it lists the ones that they have. Boston Dynamics Atlas. It's a humanoid robot. Its abilities are parkour, obstacle navigation, backwards
Yeah.
manipulation tasks. It does not have. It has uses onboard sensors and AI to plan and execute movements through often pre-programmed or for demos.
They don't work accurately.
Tesla Optimus. Its
I've seen
abilities.
those robots do the
Test-
fucking parkour.
Tesla Optimus. It's a humanoid robot. Its abilities walks, lifts, and uses tools. It's in development, but it integrates Tesla's AI for self-navigation and task performance. It's not remote control. There's a bunch. There's like Honda has one. Honda has one walking, climbing, avoiding obstacles. It's already demonstrated basic decision making and environment interaction.
I've seen
Why don't we see
news
them out?
stories.
Why don't we see them out then? Because they're
'Cause
not.
they're
Well,
still-
because we
they're
don't
all
use them
still-
here yet. It's like
Well,
a Chinese thing.
they're all still.
No, they'll be
in
here, but they're
development.
just not ready yet.
Well,
because
communist
like,
China does it because they don't give a fuck about their people if they're scared. I mean, like, you have to think about, people are going to get scared if they fucking see that. In China, they don't give a shit. So yeah, they're going to have robot cops walking with the regular cops. Yeah, what the fuck do they
Eventually,
care?
that's what they said. Within the next 5 years, it's going
Well, I
to
think
be.
the first thing they're going to use them for is war. I mean, that's what. Let's be honest. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want them. They don't want casualties, but they also want a way to fucking settle disputes and battles, and that's the one way to do it humanitarily is with fucking robots, and that's how it's gonna fucking start. We're gonna use them for war. These fucking things are gonna flip on us, and they're gonna fucking murder us. And here we go, Terminator.
Well, yeah. I mean, the reason drones were created were to fight, was for war.
And now they're just using them to fucking fly into buildings and blow shit up. That's not war. That's
Deliver food. Yeah, I mean, but that was the reason they did it. War is the reason behind everything.
Yeah.
as
And every little issue we have, every problem we have with other countries, it's all war. It all starts with oil and money and owning land. That's it.
Hey man,
Crazy.
War is big business. Really good for economies. They don't give a fuck who dies and who doesn't die. But I was frightened
No,
by that
because they have bunkers, dude. They have bunkers.
I
Yeah.
personally think that was staged. That video. I saw it and never we spoke.
Okay,
It has.
okay.
You don't think all these world leaders, if they hit the nuke button, they don't have a place to go where they can come out afterwards and be okay? They all
Oh
do.
yeah, I'm talking about the robot thing.
No,
of course.
I'm just talking with Kane.
Well-
All these people have fucking place to go if fucking shit went to hit the fan.
They do. There's a story in the Post. Here's the headline. I don't think you need to read it. You can read the article if you want.
Yeah.
Bush official says the U.S. built a secret $21 trillion underground city for the rich and powerful to live
Shit.
if a near extinction event happens.
Shut up.
And we're just talking about this is random. We're just having a random conversation. This isn't a fucking. That's crazy.
21 trillion underground city for the rich and powerful to live. Yeah, of course. This is 100% believable. It was a Bush official who said that. He would know, I would think, right? Why would you make that up?
That's fucked.
Yeah, they don't care about us. And you know how they built that? You know where the 21 we built that.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course we did. Yeah, we don't get to see it in the light of day. You know what I mean?
Right. We
Oh
built
no,
it
no,
for
you're
them.
good. Your underground cities. You can live with the fucking mole people in New York. Go in the subway.
Yeah. That's why we have all these movies that feature underground cities. I mean, like, it's just the movies telling us the reality of things.
Yeah, that movie Silo. Have you seen the show Silo yet?
No.
It's about that. It's about
Is that what it's
extinction
about?
and people living in the silo, the underground. Yeah,
There's a lot of those shows out with that theme.
Fallout, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, Fallout. And oh, God, I just saw a preview for one where Nuke hits L.A. and they got to go, and they go to this. Is it Homeland? It's not Homeland. But they go to this compound, and then they have to fight the people who realize the compound's there, who try to get in, and they're all nuke sick and whatever. And like, I don't know what it's called.
It might be Fallout.
It might be Fallout. Yeah, it
Yeah,
might
Fallout's
be.
good.
Yeah, that looks good.
And said there's one called Paradise. Is that the one you're talking about? Paradise?
No, I thought it started with an H, but I'm not sure. Whatever. Before some news, we haven't done fake. We don't have a theme intro for fake news or Florida, do we?
We don't.
I have 5
we used
headlines.
to.
I saw one really funny one. I'm like, let's just do 5 quick headlines. Fake news or Florida? You guys want to go
Battle?
against each other?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
A neighborhood in Port Charlotte, Florida is being terrorized by a man who throws groceries. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, true. Florida.
Fuck. Yeah, you get that one. Corey wins. Pinellas Park cops arrested a drunk and pantsless man for having his naughty bits on display. He told police his name was Charles Dickens.
Oh,
Now, I'm from Pinellas Park. Well, Pinellas County. Not Pinellas Park. Pinellas Park's a special place. But if this was to happen anywhere in Pinellas County, Pinellas Park would be the place where this guy's dick would be out, and he would say, "I am Charles Dickens."
I feel this sounds like a Kane special though. to
Fake.
me. Yeah, I'm going fake. This sounds like a Kane special.
Wait.
Yeah! Oh no!
That's
It actually
true.
happened.
That's true.
Yeah, but did they say
Oh,
naughty
man.
bits in the
Yes.
title?
No-
They said
yes.
that's what threw me off is when you said naughty bits. I was like, that's not.
I actually was going to change that because in my head I'm like, if I say naughty bits, they're going to think that was real because there's no way I,
I thought
would
it was
write
fake.
naughty
I thought
bits.
you wrote naughty,
Naughty
bits.
bits.
No, that was the headline.
man.
For having his naughty bits on display, told police his name was Charles Dickens. That's pretty funny.
Dickens. That is funny.
All right, 0-0. An Okeechobee man was arrested for trapping blackbirds in a local park. He told officers he wanted to bake them into a pie like the nursery rhyme.
Oh God. When you're
Was
on
that nursery
fucking
rhyme?
meth and shit.
4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. I don't know. Is that 24? I don't know. Weird way of saying math back in the day.
Okeechobee.
Where's Okeechobee, Court? Where's that located?
Bottom of the map, baby.
All right.
Down near the-
Okeechobee
down-
man arrested for
down,
trapping
down near the
blackbirds.
Everglades. On the way down. On the way down.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say fake.
I'm going to say this is true because I feel like.
I don't
King
think blackbirds. I don't think blackbirds are down there in Okeechobee.
Oh, see, I don't know the area. See, that might be my. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm sticking with my initial. This is true. This is real.
Jay?
Yeah.
Ah, you stupid idiot.
Corey leads 1-0. I wish I wrote more now. I've only got 2 left. An Orlando man was arrested for trying to rob a local bank with a python. He threatened to toss it over the glass if they didn't empty the drawer.
No.
What they said was drawer, but yeah, we'll say draw.
Draw.
Well, okay, it says drawer, yeah.
Yeah.
Drawer.
Okeechobee man with a python.
Orlando man arrested
Orlando man with a
robbing a
python.
bank with a python.
He threw it over the thing and
See,
said, "Open the thing." Why would he do that?
Isn't Orlando
I
a little
mean,
more classy?
that might be more effective if I'm a teller
Then a gun.
than a gun, because that's
Also, you don't. The crime's going to be a lot less, right, for using a snake.
it's bulletproof glass, and you can throw that snake over the top, and then no.
All right, I'm going real.
I'm going fake. This is definitely a king because you just said you'd be more afraid of a snake. You made it up.
Well, that doesn't really mean
They
anything.
don't mean
Yeah.
nothing at all.
It's fake.
Corey?
It's a good one though. That's a good one.
I made that one up.
Yeah. That's
Damn
good.
it.
And the last one,
We're tied,
this
right?
is the tiebreaker.
All right, here we go.
A Loxahatchee, Florida man
What the fuck is
Am I
that?
saying that right? Loxahatchee
Who the fuck knows?
was arrested after threatening to assassinate President Trump and launch missiles to destroy New York City's in a series of 911 calls.
True. Florida.
Wait, where is it again?
Florida,
Loxahatchee.
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 And you said what, Corey?
I said true. It's Florida.
Nah. Definitely has to be fake.
Stupid idiot.
Corey.
Give me the dinger, dude. Give me the ding, 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 ding.
Great job, buddy.
I like doing those.
That's a good game. I like that. Stupid, silly.
And now,
Now, from a location unknown for his safety, it's Kane with the Not Quite News.
Not what?
We had that story of the guy who kept himself isolated ever since COVID, right?
Yeah.
That really weird one. Well, now this happened in Spain. A nosy neighbor led police to kids who were isolated for years by their parents. This is sad. The guy can do what he wants. He's a grown
Yeah.
adult.
Yeah, he's
These
an
kids
adult.
like 5, 6 fucking years old, and they haven't left the house since COVID. Kept him in the fucking house.
That's kidnapping, dude. As far as I'm concerned.
Even if they're their own kids, you think?
Yeah. You can kidnap your own kid.
The neighbor spotted the kids peeking through the windows a couple times because they noticed all of a sudden I never see these kids outside anywhere. I know they're there. The house was a house of horrors. Rented property was full of the kids' dirty diapers and their mom's sanitary pads.
Ew!
Smells
Because
like
the parents
miscarriage.
didn't go out either. They
Take
just
them away. Take
Yeah.
them away.
They just sealed themselves in. The windows were all shut. The air was purified 24/7 by dozens of ozone machines.
They're not fit to be parents, dude.
The kids, 2 8-year-old twins and a 10-year-old, were all in diapers and spent all their time indoors.
Two 8-year-old twins and a 10-year-old were in a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Medical examination showed the kids suffered from severe constipation because they were not allowed to use the bathroom. Their parents insisted they go in their diapers like babies, so they wouldn't
Sick
shit
fucks.
for as long as they could.
Sick fucks, dude. Sick fucks.
At 10, you're taking human-sized shits. Like, what kind of diapers?
At 10, dude, at fucking 4 and 5, you're
Yeah.
taking adult shits.
Yeah.
The parents were convinced their kids suffered from serious health problems and believed they would die if they got infected with coronavirus.
Jesus.
Hey,
They made them wear face masks in the house too, and they only could wear pajamas and hygienic socks.
and
Sick.
everyone wants to go ahead and say that the crazy people are only in America. Nah, it's everywhere. There's crazy people everywhere.
They said the kids, when they first went outside after all this, they were looking around with amazement like they've never seen outside before.
Like they've been in jail. Like they were in prison,
Yeah.
dude.
Wow.
Because, I mean, think about it. COVID was, what, 4 or 5 years ago? That kid, the 8-year-olds were only 4.
Yeah.
The fucking 10-year-old was 5. Dude, I mean,
Yeah. Wow. That's something you don't get over. That's
no.
something,
That's
people
your
like to-
life, dude. You miss out on all that school and all the friendships and baseball
Yeah.
and sports and, I'm sorry, football, where they're from. But you miss out on all of it. You don't know how to make any human connections now. Those are the pivotal parts of your life.
Yeah. People like to use their childhood as excuses for why they are the way they are. If these kids use that for an excuse,
They're allowed.
that's fine.
Fuck.
64% of Americans worry more about running out of money than they do about death. Where do you stand? More people worry about running out of money than dying.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I think
Because
that-
you can't avoid death. It's coming for
Yeah.
you regardless.
Right.
So why would you worry
that isn't
about
something
it?
you should think about. Money, you need it to stay alive.
Yeah.
You need money to stay alive. So if you don't have money, you die. You know what I
Do
mean?
you
You
fear
go on the
death?
street.
Do you fear death?
No, I welcome it.
I used to a lot,
Yeah.
and as I guess the older I get, the more and more I'm like, it's going to happen at some point to anybody and everybody, and the more you feel afraid, the more you feel panicky, and then I don't know, just
Get
no.
anxiety about it, right?
Yeah,
I don't welcome it as far as hey, I
yeah,
want
you're
it
not
to
like
happen
fucking like
today.
kill me, yeah.
Right. But, I'm not afraid of it. They're saying Noel and Liam Gallagher are going to be separated backstage for the Oasis reunion tour, just to make sure it stays on the road. You can bet on whether this tour gets canceled.
Wait a minute, so they're
Well,
going to put
yeah.
up a partition?
No,
You're
just-
telling me they're going to put up a wonder wall between them?
Oh, my my goodness. That's where that story ends. No, I got one more piece of this story because it's funny. Liam tweeted. He's denying that whole thing. He says after parties, because they were saying they were going to have their own separate after parties and everything. He says after parties are for wankers. I'm getting straight off after the gigs to get my beauty sleep. This level of sexiness doesn't happen by staying awake talking bollocks to bell ends. You know what a bell end is?
Yeah, it's an idiot, right?
No, a bell end is British slang for the end of a penis.
Oh,
It's a British insult. I love it.
Bell
Talking shit to a bunch of dickheads. That's basically what he said.
Bell ends. That's
Bell
good.
end.
Yeah, well, so that kind of is a knock at the other guy then.
Yeah.
Well, other
no,
brothers?
He was saying he doesn't want like random people backstage and hanging out because he doesn't want to waste time fucking talking to these
Dickheads.
dickheads. Toughest jobs in America? Firefighter.
I got a question. Do you want to go see a guy that thinks his fans are dickheads?
Yeah, right?
No, I didn't think he should have said that. You're right. I thought of that myself.
Yeah, would that turn you off? I would be like, no, I don't want to see you. If you think I'm a dickhead, I don't want to see you. I'm not a fan anymore.
But I think the fans know who that band is.
Right,
And that's the kind of thing they say.
Yeah.
Hardest job in America? Firefighter. Number 1, construction worker. Number 2, YMCA.
You
Member of
mean
the
all manual labor jobs?
Member of the military, 3. Doctor, 4. Cop, 5. Paramedic. Astronaut. Farmer. Astronaut. Isn't Katy Perry one? That looked easy.
Yeah, she's an
How
afterthought.
about those shows where they show like the ice road truckers and the fucking people cutting down
Yeah.
trees on the side of mountains? That's
I don't think
fucking
there's
hard.
enough of those. You know what I mean?
Trucker's
are they-
not even on a list.
I'm sorry, being a truck again. Your dad was. I couldn't imagine doing that. Fucking no way.
A lot of it's sitting steering, but you know.
I know, but again,
Yeah, but they don't. They don't take that into consideration. That's not like that doesn't make up for a big percentage of them.
Yeah, I
True.
guess.
All right, really bad joke.
They're not going to put Ice Road Trucker on the list.
They should.
It's now time for
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Kane and Corey's really bad jokes.
The Vatican announced that one of Pope Francis's Pope-mobiles is being transformed into a mobile health clinic for kids.
Oh, come on.
Wow. So even after death, he's still touching boys.
Kids, don't get in the Pope-mobile.
Nope.
Where's your son? I don't know. Last I saw, he went into the Pope-mobile and now he's vanished.
Well, he's in there for health. Yeah, they're doing colon checkups on the boys.
Oh, really? I thought that was after 40. Well, you can't be too sure. Today is National Teachers Day, everybody.
Oh
Gwyneth
shit!
Paltrow says a dildo is the perfect gift.
Oh shit! I'm wearing this because I thought you said it was T-shirt day.
No. By the way, the band Ghost has dildos they're selling for Mother's Day too, and they're sold out. That band fucking sucks.
Did they really?
Oh my god.
Never heard of them.
So stupid. Like the guy, it's basically like satanic, and that's their theme, whatever. They're like a performance arty band, and it's so dumb. But they got so many fans. Today is National Nurses Day too. National Nurses Day and National Teachers Day.
That's National Nurses Day.
Yeah.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow says, "Give them a dildo." And the nurse is like, "Oh, we already have one. We just took it out of the guy that stuffed 5 in his ass."
They probably got a plethora of dildos.
Yeah, they got
don't
so
they?
many dildos.
I don't think it's coincidence they chose the same day for 2 of the most popular Pornhub searches.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
wouldn't be surprised if it's also Stepmom Day. A Florida suburb, Corey's going to have fun with this. A Florida suburb has a peacock problem, so a local veterinarian launched a program to start administering peacock vasectomies.
Wait, what? Are they really?
Yeah, that's not a fake news or Florida.
Not
headline.
my fucking peacock, dude. You can
They're
touch all the
calling it
peacocks you want. We get you get out of here.
Operation Cockblock.
Yeah, don't walk past my peacock.
Peacock vasectomies.
A lot
Get
of
over
peacocks,
here.
a lot of cocks on the block, huh?
Jury selection began on Diddy's trial.
Okay.
He didn't help the situation, saying he only wants to select hot young jurors. He should have kept his mouth shut there.
He did say he was nervous. I saw that. He said he was
did.
nervous. Yeah.
And they actually, I'm sorry, Judge, I'm really anxious, I'm nervous. And he actually gave, what do you think his fucking victims, you think they were nervous a little bit?
Yeah, no
he
shit.
didn't show them any fucking, it didn't take
Apparently,
time.
they said they really want to get victim 3 on the list. I don't know who that is, but apparently it's like,
Ooh, really?
maybe that's Biebs.
Fuck. I feel bad for him.
I do too. You see, ever since this started happening is when he started kind of fucking.
He downloaded again, spiraled again.
He's smoking.
Exactly.
I mean, he's smoking weed. I don't give a fuck about that. That's legal. And the fact that they're like, he's smoking weed out of a bong. It's like, yeah, that's okay. What's
That's
next?
how
He
people
took a
used to
shit.
do it.
You're
Right.
allowed to do that. That's completely. That's like saying you smoke a cigarette. You're allowed to do that now. Okay, it's not a big
Yeah.
deal. But like, I feel bad because like he's a new dad. And, like this shit's happening. And oh god.
And he looks so sunken and like I don't know. You see
Yeah,
his
he's
face
not
lately?
eating. It's like he just looks.
It's really weird. There's this little girl guy that's always around. I'm seeing him like in these photos. That's always like kissing him on the cheek and stuff. It's like a guy has long hair and skinny, like built like a girl.
Really?
Though. It's weird. Like I keep seeing him like in these paparazzi shots, and I'm like, who's that guy?
I feel like he's being controlled. I feel like he's not really in control of his own shit right now.
Yeah.
2 more. There was going to be a subplot in E.T. where the alien was in love with Elliot's mom,
Ooh.
but they wrote that out.
Well, now it would be E.T. would be in love with the dad. So luckily,
Yeah, and E.T.'d be black too. Yeah, Disney got a hold of
it
it.
would be called E.T. Bone Home, dude.
That's a good porn, bro. There has to be a porn out there named that.
See, I don't want to ruin that now with my stupid punchline. You probably could have made her pretty happy with that finger of his, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just a flashlight.
Yeah.
And finally, there are rumors Aaron Rodgers married his longtime love.
He marries a long time. What's his name?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That was my punchline. Aaron Rodgers married Aaron Rodgers
Yeah,
because
Aaron
that's who
Rodgers.
he loves.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get the hell out of here. Early show tomorrow.
Same time. What do you mean early?
I know.
Oh, you did it on purpose. I fucking
Yeah.
hate it.
All right, guys. See you later.
Goodbye, everybody.
Later.